Hello everyone, welcome to Voxcel. So today we're gonna discuss reading passage 2 of Burlington Academic Book 2 Test 1. We have already discussed reading passage 1. So if you haven't watched that video, you should watch that video but after watching this one. So without further ado, let's dive right in. So if you have watched my previous videos, you should know our ritual, our routine. First, what we will do is we will read the title of the passage. Our title says Camouflage and Mimicry. So let me color this. So you should know the meaning, or you probably know the meaning of camouflage and mimicry, but here they have given us an asterisk sign, so that means they must have given the meaning of these two words. Let's see. So camouflage is a way of hiding in nature. Mimicry in nature, what it means is copying the appearance or behavior of another species. So camouflage is like if you are like military personnel, then you are if you are camouflaging, that means you are covering yourself or painting yourself according to your surroundings so that you can blend in your surroundings. So mimicry is copying others, but in animal, so if I talk about humans, so whenever you are trying to mimic somebody, you're trying to copy their voice. So obviously animals, they are not able to do that particular thing. So what they are copying? So they are copying the behavior or appearance of another species. But what does camouflage means? Camouflage means it's the way of hiding in nature. So that's the difference between these two things. So this paragraph obviously should be on this, like what kind of animals do camouflage, or what kind of animals do mimicry, or where the what are the roles of camouflage and mimicry in the evolution, something like that. So this paragraph should be based on these two aspects of animals in nature. So what we're going to do now is we're going to look at the number of questions we have to solve and the type of questions we have to solve, so that we can come up with the plan. So if I talk about the number of questions, so this paragraph had the question numbers we have to solve are from 14 to 26. So these questions we have to solve. Now look at the types of the questions. So here is the first set, questions 14 to 19. So this is basically list of headings. So for each paragraph we have to find the best list of headings, so that indicates the answer or to that particular paragraph. For 20 to 23 we have one word answers, like basically we have to solve, we have to fill in the blanks, but we can only use one word, we cannot use more than that. For example, if you write two words for one particular question, even though one of that two words is correct, your answer will still be marked as incorrect. And for 24 to 26, so you have MCQ, so you have to pick sorry about that, so you have to pick one options out of these four options. For example, for question number 24, so let's just say your answer is A. For 25 your answer is B. 26 you will pick option like C or D, whatever the options are. We will read the paragraph, then we will come to know which options are correct. So now what kind of strategy we can make? There are like many options, like primarily two options. Either you can solve list of headings first and then go to these questions, blanks, and then MCQs, or you can solve these blanks or these MCQs first and then go to list of headings. But in either case you will have to read the entire paragraph. Or you can do is first read the A paragraph, all right, solve first paragraph, 14th question for example, then read 20th question or 24th question and see whether there is answer to those question in that paragraph. So this is also one of our methods that we can use to solve our reading. So whatever methods you find easy, we will do that. So what we're going to do is we're gonna first read this paragraph and then solve A 14th question for the A paragraph, okay, and then we will come to this 20 question or 24th question. Then we will see if we are able to find it that way, or first we should do list of headings only. Now before doing list of headings, what you should do is, now we will solve the paragraph, before doing list of headings, you should read all the options and clarify them in your mind, because if you are not sure what these options mean, you will not be able to obviously find them in the paragraph. So option first, the role of sent. So what kind of paragraph answer, okay, let me change the color. What kind of paragraphs answer should be this heading? Number one, the role of scent. So in whichever paragraph, so there is mention of the role of scent. So scent basically basic smell or odor. So whatever is the role of smell or odor in animals or in any particular species, so whichever paragraph focuses on that particular thing, that answer will be number one. Option 2, the importance of diet. Obviously, whichever paragraph mentions the importance of diet, like why diet is important, what are the benefits of diet, something like that, so we will mark it as option number 2. Third, factors affecting how different species hide. So in whatever paragraph there are some factors given. So factors basically means plural, more than one. So there will be at least two factors given that will determine how species hide. Like for example, A and B, because of A and B factors, these species hide in this particular way or something like that. So you get an idea. Fourth, new evidence of camouflage. So there, in whatever paragraph there is talk about new evidence, be very careful about this word new evidence. They are not talking about old evidence or evidence that we find for the first time. They're talking about something new. So we have evidence back the like old evidence, but we have found new evidence as well. So we have found new evidence on camouflage. Fifth, no need to hide. So in whatever paragraph they're saying there is no need to hide. So there is no why there is no need to hide, because that particular species or that particular animal is not afraid of what is happening here with me, because that particular animal is not afraid of anyone. So there is no need to hide. Okay. Next, I don't think so. It will be like this. Reasons for concealment in nature. So, what does concealment mean? Yes, it's same as camouflage. You can say it's sort of an synonym for camouflage. Concealment mean hiding. In whatever paragraph there are reasons given why some species or some animals hide in nature, because they want to save their life, because they don't want to get eaten by the predator, something like that, because they are prey, so they are hiding from the predators to save their life, to uh, what else could be the reason for hiding? Okay, basically to save themselves from predators or from any sort of attack. So in whichever paragraph there are reasons given, so again reasons more than one, so there may be two or three, maybe four reasons given in any paragraph for what, for hiding in nature. Seventh option, how creatures hide themselves. In whatever paragraph there is particular mention of the method, like this is the way creature hide themselves, like they hide under the tree, they hide in the bushes, or they hide in the water, something like that. So whatever the like however they hide, whatever paragraph mentions this will be our answer. Number 7. Eighth, an unusual case of specialization. So there will be an unusual case of particular specialization. So unusual case, what does usual mean? That is that you can see often or regularly. So unusual, that you don't see that often. So that case, that type of specialization. Ninth, two types of imitation. So what does imitation mean? Yes, mimicry, basically copying someone. So mimicry, imitation. For camouflage, concealment. So these are synonyms, you can say. So there, whatever paragraph will be, we will have two types of imitation, or like two types of copying techniques, mimicry techniques. That answer will be option number 9. I hope all the options are clear. So it's very important you first read the options and see if whether you can understand the options or not. Because if you're not able to understand the options, there is no use of reading the paragraph altogether. So let's read the A paragraph now. Over thousands of millions of years of evolution, species have acquired numerous clever techniques to help them adapt to their surroundings, thrive, and reproduce. So, what they're saying is over thousands of millions of years of evolution. So, we have been evolving for thousands of millions of years. Species have acquired number of clever techniques. So, they have mastered basically acquired basically here mastered number of clever techniques. Why? To help them adapt to their surroundings, to thrive, and to reproduce. So these are the reasons they do these, they have acquired these clever techniques. Of these, those which most inspire humans include camouflage and mimicry. So out of all these techniques, humans, we are interested in these two techniques inspire us the most. They are called camouflage and mimicry. Species are most commonly motivated to use these techniques simply in order to survive. So why species are using these two techniques? Just they want to survive. The need for survival has caused many prey animals to develop ways of avoiding detection by those above them in the food chain. So as I have mentioned earlier, why I can only think of one need to camouflage or okay to mimic in nature, because you're copying the behavior of others. Basically for camouflage, why you're camouflaging? Because you want to avoid death basically. So you want to avoid being seen by the predators or your enemies. For predators, stealth is the secret of successful hunting, and hiding in plain sight is one strategy they use. So if for predators, so predators are those who kill others for food. Like basically if I talk about the predators are like on the top of the food chain, like lions, jaguars, cheetahs, tigers, crocodiles, alligators, sharks. So basically these are the predators, so who kill other animals for food. So stealth is the secret to successful hunting, and hiding in plain sight is one strategy they use. For both these groups, camouflage help them blend in with their surroundings to mask their identity or location. So obviously when they are camouflaging, they are blending in with the surroundings, with the nature, so that they can hide their identity or location. However, not all creatures are able to use the same camouflage tactics. Species with feathers or scales, for example, are able to shed them regularly and relatively quickly, whereas those with fur cannot replace their outer layers so easily. So they are saying that all creatures, they are not using the same techniques of camouflage. So those animals with feathers or scales, they are able to shed those quickly and easily regularly, but those animals that have fur, they are not able to shed their outer layer obviously that easily. So this paragraph is basically talking about camouflage, mimicry, why they adapt to their surroundings to do these two things. Okay, or why are using these techniques to do these two things. And camouflage and mimicry, they inspire humans, and these are some more information about these particular techniques. So obviously our a paragraph has to be here. Okay, there has to be one answer to this particular paragraph. And okay, sorry, I forgot to tell you beforehand, for every question I will give you about 10 seconds to solve it, and if you need more time than that, you can pause the video, and when you are ready with your answer, you can continue. For this particular question, your time starts now. Okay, time's up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to read these together and see and look at our answer. First option, the role of scent. Is there any mention of scent or smell, something like that? Nope. So first option cannot be our answer. Second, the importance of diet. This also cannot be our answer because there is no mention of diet up till now. Third, factors affecting how different species hide. Okay, we have been told like they are not all species use different same techniques. So here it is written, not all species use same camouflage techniques, but there are no factors they are scale. They're just saying these are the like two things they do differently, but how does they affect their hiding place, something like that, we don't know the surroundings. So this cannot be our answer. Fourth, new evidence of camouflage. Again, there is no talk about new evidence. Fifth, no need to hide. This cannot be our answer. Why? Because they are saying in order to survive. Here we have read in order to survive. Let me do this again. Here we have read in order to survive they need to camouflage, hide. So this cannot be our answer. Sixth, reasons for concealment in nature. So are there reasons given why species or why animals hide in nature? Yes, this is our answer. Let me mark first. This is our answer. Option number 6. Reasons for concealment in nature. Where are these reasons given? So what are the two reasons that are given here? So they have been given, like, first they are saying in order to survive. So let me mark the reasons again. So they are saying first in order to survive, so the need for survival, and second for hunting. So they need to hide in plain sight. The need for survival has caused many prey animals to develop this, and for predators this. So for these two reasons they need to learn this particular technique. Let me mark the question number here, question 14. I hope it is clear. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna read question number 20th, and let's see if there is if the answer to this question is in this paragraph. Some species use a type of camouflage called dash. So obviously there should be name of this particular camouflage, and there is no name to given to any particular type of camouflage to avoid detection by prey and predators. Okay, so this particular species, it needs to do camouflage. Why? Because it wants to hide from both prey and predators, and that too from different angles. Okay, so from different angles it can mean like from up, right, left, uh, above, what kind of angles, it's hard to predict right now. So in this particular paragraph we don't have any information regarding basically we don't have any name for any particular camouflage, and second we don't have any information like this different angles or prey and predators for one particular species or some species. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna move to question number 24 and see if that's answer is in this paragraph or not. 24th, new research on bird populations. Okay, we haven't we haven't read anything about bird population, so there is no need for of reading further. So we're gonna focus on B paragraph now. Okay, so this is our B paragraph. Now we're gonna focus on this paragraph. Habitat and behavior also influence how species use camouflage. Now they are saying that these two things influence how species use camouflage. Basically the way species use camouflage, these habitat and behavior influence those particular things. Zebras live in herds, so although their black and white striped coats stand out on the sand colored savanna, it is not easy for their predators to identify and track one individual animal. So they're saying that the zebras, they live in herds, so though their black and white striped coats, it's easy to like see from far away in sand colored savanna, in desert basically. But it's not easy to track individual animals because from distance they all look the same. The zebra's main predator is the lion, and since lions are colorblind, the zebra's need for disguise is limited. So this is the main advantage for zebras, like because lions, they are colorblind, so whatever color they are, the lions are not able to distinguish. The lion, however, hunts a variety of prey which makes its coat the perfect color for undercover stalking. So they're saying that now They were talking about the like camouflage for zebra because of their coat black and white, but now they're talking about lion. So because lion skin color is almost similar to that of surrounding, so it's for perfect for undercover stalking. Certain species, such as Arctic fox, change color according to the season. Now they are talking about Arctic fox. It changes color according to season, not according to surroundings, but according to season. So they are brown in summer, white in winter. So that's why it helps them to be hidden all year around. One of the cleverest type of camouflage is called counter shading. Okay, so now they are telling that there is one type of camouflage and it is called counter shading. Sharks, for example, are darker on top of their bodies and lighter underneath. So now they are talking about sharks like they are darker on the top, but underneath they are lighter. From above, they blend in with the darker, deep water, helping them to avoid human predators. And from below, their prey cannot easily detect them as their underbelly is similar color to the lightest, shallower water. So from above, they are okay. They can avoid human predators because of their dark color, and from below, their prey cannot detect them because of their color is similar to the underbelly color is similar to the lighter, shallower water. Okay, so I am able to think of like two or three questions here simultaneously. But first, what we're gonna do is we're gonna just read this, or we're gonna just solve this particular question, question number 15, and you have around 10 seconds to tell me whether which options out of these will be the answer to question number 15. And your 10 seconds. Let me do this. Uh, your 10 seconds start now. Okay, time's up. Let's read the options together and see which one is the correct answer. The role of scent. Obviously, there is no mention of scent or smell here, so this cannot be our answer. The importance of diet. No, this is not even our answer. There is no mention of importance of diet, so it cannot be our answer. Third, factors affecting how different species hide. Is there any mention of this? Yes. So this is our answer basically. Sorry about that. This is our answer. Option number third. Factors affecting how different species hide. So what are the factors that affect how different species hide? Hide basically means camouflage. Let me mark here first. Here, habitat and behavior. And then after they have mentioned, let me write everything first. And then they mentioned the same season. They have also mentioned season. Because of season, they are changing their color. And then they are talking about sharks also. So basically, in the entire paragraph, they have talked about this. Like, let me do this. So they have talked about sharks. They're darker on top, and this so it helps them to avoid this. So they have also talked about shark. Basically, this is about their habitat. So I don't need to mark here. So habitat and behavior. Clear? Why it is third option? Let's read the other options as well. New evidence of camouflage. There is no mention of any new evidence. No need to hide. Obviously, they are telling that there is need to hide. Sixth, we have completed. Seventh, how creatures hide themselves. Is there any mention of the process they hide themselves? No, there is no mention of the process in this paragraph. Eighth, an unusual case of specialization. There is no any unusual case specially mentioned here. Ninth, two types of imitation. There are no two types of copying techniques or something like that. So obviously, third answer is the best option for this particular paragraph. So now what we're gonna do is either we can keep reading to on the C paragraph, then mark this, or if you are able to do this, so we have read something of this. Some species use a type of camouflage called dash to avoid detection by prey and predators from different angles. So we have read something about that in this paragraph. Okay, and I'm not gonna tell you the location for this just yet. You have about 10 seconds to tell me what can be the answer to this particular question, and your time starts now. Okay, time's up. Now I'm gonna write the answer here and see whether you were able to find the correct answer or not. And the answer to this is counter shading. Let me do this. So answer to this is counter shading. Where it is written? Here. Let me do this. Question number 20th. Why? Okay. If you were able to find the answer, congratulations. But can you tell me where it is written? Prey predators from different angles, avoid detection. Yes, let me change the color first. First, here it is some species use a type of camouflage called. So here it is written. One of the cleverest type of camouflage is called counter shading. And then avoid human from above. Here from above they are avoiding humans, and from below they are hiding from their prey. Okay, I hope it is clear. So these are different angles above and below, they are different angles. Let's see if another question is our answer. Question 21. Some species are able to alter their color due to possession of a specific type of pigments. Okay, so wherever there is mention of specific types of pigments known as, again we have to write the name of the pigment. So there will be some sort of name here which reach directly to different type, which react, sorry, it reacts direct differently to different types of light. So we have to tell about that name of the pigment which react differently to different types of light. So there is no mention of pigment here, so our answer cannot be here. 24th, bird population. There is no mention of bird populations, so we don't have to read it further right now. Okay, let's read the C paragraph now. Okay, so see, it has two paragraphs. So what we can do is we can read this, but we will read this paragraph and see if there is any list of headings that matches with this, and then we will read this and see if there a list of heading matches with this. So it can be either according to this the starting of these two this paragraph, or maybe starting or ending of this paragraph. So we will read both paragraphs separately. There are two main ways species achieve these remarkable feats of camouflage: pigments and physical features. Now, what they're saying is we have two different ways, two main ways that the species use to hide themselves. Let me mark this, change the color. So, pigments and physical features. So, these are the two ways. Okay, biochromes are natural natural microscopic pigments which absorb some wavelengths of light but reflect others, which appears to make them change color. So they're saying that bichromes are natural microscopic pigments. So these are the pigments that absorb some wavelengths, they absorb some wavelengths but they reflect others, so that's why they which appears make them change color, so that's why it looks like they are changing color. Some species of octopus can change not only their color but the pattern and the thickness of their skin. So there are some species of octopus that can not only change their color but also the pattern and the thickness of their skin. Another way species camouflage themselves is through the use of microscopic physical structures that function as prisms that reflect and scatter light. So, what is the another way of camouflage? It is through microscopic physical structures, and they act as prism and they reflect and scatter light. The resulting color is different from that of their skin, so that's why it looks like their skin has changed color, because the color that they reflect is different from their skin color. Okay, so you have around 10 seconds to tell me the answer to the sixth paragraph. Is there any answer in this or not? And your time starts now. Okay, time's up. Now let's see the options, if there is any option that suits best to this particular paragraph or this particular C paragraph, first paragraph or not. First, the role of scent. Nope, because there is no mention of any smell or any scent or odor. Second, the importance of diet. Is there any mention of diet here? No. Third, we have done. Fourth, new evidence. There is no mention of that. No need to hide. Again, they are talking about camouflage. So there is need to hide. This cannot be our answer. Sixth, we have done. Seventh, how creatures hide themselves. Can this be our answer? Yes. First, let me mark here. 7. So how creature hide themselves, where it is written? Yes, they do these two things by the methods, pigments and physical structures. And then there is a complete summary of what pigments do, or how pigment technique is used to hide, and how physical structure they are using them as prisms to reflect light. I hope it is clear. Okay. Now let's read this paragraph and see whether we are able to identify anything else here or not. Polar bears have black skin and translucent fur but appear white due to the reflection from sunlight and snow. Again, they are saying how polar bears appear white. Another mechanism for changing color is diet. So they are talking about one more mechanism, and that is again diet. Nudibranch, a kind of sea slug, feed on species which contain pigments, giving them bright purple, orange, and red coloration. So they are animals. What are they? They are a type of a sea slug that feed on species which contain pigments that give them these three colors. Their color changes can be for the process of self concealment, or as a warning that they are poisonous. So why they change color? For self concealment, basically to hide themselves, or to give indications to their predators that you should not eat them because they are poisonous. Okay, again they're talking about changing, hiding themselves. So if okay, now can you tell me whether second option can be the answer of C paragraph, because they're talking about diet here? So you have like 2 or 3 seconds to tell me why second is not our answer. Let me put it this way: why second cannot be our answer? Because they are talking about diet, and here they are also talking about diet. Yes, because here the option says the importance of diet, but here they're saying how diet is used to change color. So they are using their diet, basically their food, to change their color. Nothing is talking about importance. This is just one species of animal that use their food, okay, their prey, to change their color. There is no importance of diet mentioned here. Okay, but the entire paragraph is about how they hide themselves. So they are hiding themselves with the help of diet, with the help of pigments, with the help of physical features. What is happening here? Sorry about that. I believe they have. Okay. And what happened here? I believe I must have pressed some key. So, okay, so that's why our seventh option will be the answer. Now, if I look at the blanks here, so our 21st answer can is there is 21st blank here because we're talking about pigments here. There were like pigments to talk about pigments here. Let me change the color. So here they are talking about pigments, also about pigments. Okay, and there is reflecting here is about reflecting differently to different wavelengths. So you have some time to tell me the answer, and obviously there is answer of this question in here in this paragraph, and your time starts now. Okay, time's up. I'm gonna write the answer here and see if you were able to find out the correct answer or not. And the answer is bichromes. Let me mark the answer. Question 21. So why it is biochromes? Because they're saying type of pigments. So they have said here biochromes are natural microscopic pigments. So they are a type of pigment and differently to different light. So they absorb some wavelength but reflect others. So differently to different types of light. So light basically wavelength. Okay, let's read this 22nd question. Other possesses a kind of prism. So we have also read about prism here. Yes, we have. Other possesses a kind of prism that spreads out light while remaining invisible because it is dash in size. Okay, is there our answer in this particular section? So this is about prism. Okay, so let's mark it. They remain invisible because dash in size. So we have to talk about that. It is dash in size. What kind of word do you think fit? It is small in size, it is big in size, that kind of thing. It suits the best. And for that, you have around 10 seconds to tell me the answer, and your time starts now. Okay, time's up. What I am going to do is I'm going to write the answer now and see whether you were able to find the correct answer or not. And the answer to this is microscopic. Microscopic. So let me mark here so that you can understand where. Okay, let me change the color first. So here it is written microscopic. So microscopic basically means very, very, very small. So that like so small that we can only see these things under a microscope. So remain invisible. So camouflage themselves. So let me do this. So here they're saying remaining invisible, camouflage themselves is through the use of microscopic physical structures. So physical structure just meaning their size, like their physicality, their size. I hope it is clear. Moving on to 23rd question. Let's see if this is in this paragraph or not. Changes in dash can also cause an alteration in color in some species. So they're saying that if you change in something, it can also cause alteration in color in some species. So do you think our answer or this answer is in the C paragraph? Obviously it will not be here. It could be in here this paragraph, polar bears. So can you tell me the answer if there is any answer? If there is not, no issues, we will read the D paragraph. So your 10 seconds start now. Okay, time's up. Yes, there is an answer. So our answer to this is diet. Where it is written? Here. Let me mark the answer first, then I will explain to you why it is our answer. Okay, so here they're saying changes in something can also cause an alteration in color. So up until here, we're talking about two processes: pigments and physical structure. So these are about pigments, this is about physical structure, this is again something about their pigments or something like that. Okay, but here they're saying another mechanism is plus one and also means plus one, and that is diet. So if there are changes in diet, so they're saying that, so whatever color they eat, so this particular sea slug, whatever color they eat or whatever color they feed on, species they feed on, their color changes according to that. Okay, what is the purpose of the color, that's a different issue, but because of their diet their color changes. So the question is concerned with something also changes color in some species. Okay, so obviously we don't need to read 24th because there is nothing about bird population up until now. So we have done from 20 to 23. Okay, now we will move to D paragraph and we will read this. Let's see what is the answer to D paragraph. While most forms of camouflage are visual, some species are able to hide their smell. Okay, now they have talked about smell. Okay, so now they're saying that while most of the forms are of camouflage are visual, so camouflage basically they are referring to changing of their visual colors, but now they're saying that some species as a form of camouflage they are able to hide their smell, often by masking themselves with smell of another creature. How to do that? By masking themselves with the smell of another creature. For example, if for example the cat, it masks its smell with the help of dog smell, something like that. You have must have seen in movies when dogs are chasing a person, that person may use clothes of other person or some mud to hide their smell, something like that. That's a form of camouflage. This is known as olfactory camouflage. So what we call it? We call it olfactory camouflage. Dog owners might recognize this behavior in their pets, which have been known to roll in fox urine to disguise their own scent. So what they do is they roll in fox urine to disguise their own scent. A more cunning version of this is demonstrated by the Californian ground squirrel, which chews up and spits out rattlesnake skin before applying the paste to its tail. So another you can see version in Californian ground squirrel. So what it does is it chews up and spits the rattlesnake skin and then it applies the paste to its tail. Evidence is emerging for olfactory camouflage in birds, with recent studies suggesting the oil produced in the preen gland may change its color to prevent detection by predators. So they're saying that evidence is now being found in olfactory camouflage in what kind of species? In birds also, not only on land animals but in birds also, where they are producing oil produced in preen gland may change its odor to prevent detection by predators. So that's why birds they change their smell so that they cannot be easily tracked down by predators. Clear? So you have some time to tell me the answer to D paragraph. That is our question number 17 and your time starts now. Okay, time's up. Now let's read the options together and see our answer. First option, the role of scent. Can this be our answer? Yes, in fact, I believe this is our answer. Let me mark here. This is our answer. Let's read the other. Why? Because this paragraph is entirely about smell. Okay, why? How this use smell to hide themselves. So that is the role of the scent to protect their lives. So let me do this. So in the entire paragraph, they are talking about hiding themselves with the smell of another creature. So let me mark the option here. Question. What was the question? 17. So let's read the other options and see if another option, if we are confused with other option or not. Second, the importance of diet. Nope, because there is no mention of diet here. Third, we have done new evidence of camouflage. Can this be our answer? No, because we are talking about, obviously we are talking about evidence here. The word does come up in this particular paragraph, evidence, but there is no mention of new evidence. So that's why this cannot be our answer. Sixth and seventh we have done. Eighth, an unusual case of specialization. Nope, this is not our answer. There is no mention of a particular case that is not often seen. And two types of imitation, there is no mention of copying. There is just mention of camouflage. So it cannot be our answer. So first option is the best option for D paragraph. I hope it is clear. Now let's see. We have talked about birds here, and 24th question is about birds, and let's see if there is anything here or not. New research on birds population indicates that previous findings were in. First option is saying that previous findings they were inaccurate. Okay, so whatever the previous findings were, they were not accurate. Birds may mask their own scent. So bird what they can do is they can mask their own scent. Mask their own scent just mean hide their own scent. Predatory birds secrete preen oil. So those birds that are predatory in nature, so birds of prey, they what they do, they secrete preen oil. Birds odor is undetectable. So birds smell is undetectable. So yeah, there is mention of these particular words, preen gland, okay, something like that. So obviously our answer should be here, and you have around 10 seconds to tell me the answer, and your time starts now. Okay, time's up. So first time what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark the answer, and then we will see why it is our answer and why other options are not our answer. So which option have you picked? A, B, C or D? Yes. B answer. B option is our answer. Now let's see why other options cannot be our answer. First, previous findings. Let me first mark the location here. So basically this is our location, and let me mark the answer first. This is question 24. Now let's see why other options cannot be our answer. So first, previous findings were inaccurate. There is no mention of previous findings. Okay, so there's just mention of evidence that is coming out right now. Okay, evidence is emerging. Basically, that means there is new evidence here, and there is no mention of any previous findings. See, predatory birds secrete preen oil. There is no mention of predatory birds secreting preen oil. So they're just talking about preen gland. Okay, oil produced in preen gland, not preen oil is secreted in predatory birds. Okay, and obviously they are being secreted in prey birds, not predatory birds. So birds odor is undetectable. If that was the case, why they need to hide their this? So that's why this is also not correct option. So only option that is they are able to mask their own scent. So is that birds will change it to prevent detection by predators. So they are changing their scent, change their order. So obviously, to if they're changing their order, they are masking, they are hiding their own scent. I hope it is clear. 25th, Batesian mimicry. Okay, wherever we will read Batesian, this particular word, that will be our location. So we don't have to worry too much about that. Now we will read E paragraph. Another example of natural selection is mimicry. Now we are talking about mimicry here. Enough with the camouflage. Now we have shifted our focus to mimicry, which takes a variety of forms in animal kingdom. So they are talking about mimicry, and it takes varieties of form in animal kingdom. So it's not limited to one particular form. It also is of different forms. Batesian mimicry, named after naturalist Henry Walter Bates, is where a harmless species evolves to resemble a more dangerous one. So this particular mimicry, what is happening in this mimicry? In this mimicry, a harmless species, evolves so that it can resemble. So resembles mean looks like it, so that it can look like a more dangerous species. Several insects such as hoverflies and clearwing moths mimic bees and wasps, since it would be to their advantage to appear more threatening than they actually are. So there are insects like hoverflies and clearwing moths. So they what they do is they try to mimic, and they look like bees or wasps, because it is for their benefit only if they look more dangerous than they actually are, because they are harmless basically. Hoverflies have developed the black and yellow coloration of wasp and bees, while clearwing moths mimic them by buzzing in flight. So what does hoverfly do? What do hoverflies do? They have developed the coloration of black and yellow coloration, and while clearwing moths, they mimic their buzzing sound. Mullerian mimicry, on the other hand, okay, this is another type of mimicry, is when two or more dangerous, unrelated creatures mimic each other's warning signals, thereby keeping predators away from them all. So what they do is these are like, in this particular type of mimicry, unrelated creatures, they mimic each other. Why? What they mimic each other's warning signals. Like animals, they use different kind of sounds, like for mating, for warning others, for playful fighting, for submission, these kinds of things. They have different kind of sounds, signals. So they are mimicking each other's warning signals, so that they can keep predators away from all of them. Okay, I hope the paragraph is clear. Now you have some time to tell me the answer to E paragraph. That is question number 18, and your time starts now. Okay, time's up. Let's read the options together and see which one is the correct answer for this. First option we have done selected. Second, the importance of diet. Is there anything about diet? Nope. So this cannot be our answer. Third, we have done. Fourth, new evidence of there is no mention of camouflage. We are talking about mimicry now. No need to hide. Obviously, they are hiding. So this cannot be our answer. An unusual case of specialization. There is no mention, like this case is not seen like that often, or something rare case, something like that. So it can be our answer. So only option left is option number 9. Two types of imitation. Okay, where it is written two types of imitation, yes, it's very clear. First is Batesian mimicry and second is Mullerian mimicry. So let me write this in front of both. Question 18. One, and what I will do is I will write in front of it so that you don't have to worry too much about this. I hope it is like more clear to you here. Okay, let me. Okay, so I hope it is clear. So we will go to the multiple choice questions because we have read something about Batesian mimicry. So let's read the options now. Beneficial to multiple species. So this will be our answer if it is beneficial to multiple species. Defined by color changes. So is it defined by color changes? The way other insects copy bees and wasps. So they are talking about what is Batesian mimicry. It is the way that insects copy bees and wasps. D, a way or way to appear threatening. It's a way to appear threatening. So this is our location. Obviously, there is written Batesian mimicry, and you have some time to tell me the answer. And your time starts now. Okay, time's up. Let's read the options together. First, we will read this again. So, what is Batesian mimicry? It is named after naturalist person. This is where a harmless species evolves to resemble a more dangerous one. So, beneficial to multiple species. Can this be our answer? Okay, let me first mark the answer, and our answer to this is option D. Now, let me tell you why other options are not our answer. This cannot be our answer because there is no mention that multiple species can do this. Okay, we know, like we have to tell what is Batesian mimicry. It is not named because multiple species can do this. It is named because here a harmless species, it evolves to resemble basically meaning look like a more dangerous one. So why? Because D option is saying a way to appear threatening. So threatening means look more dangerous than you actually are. You are appearing like this. So yes, it is resembling this. Okay, so defined by color changes, this is not the answer. The way insects copy bees and wasps. Okay, many of you would have marked C option. Let me tell you why this cannot be our answer first. Let me do this. Okay, so okay, Batesian mimicry is where harmless species evolves into one. So now they have just given this several insects such as this and this, they do this. But what about other insects? Those who are not hoverflies or clear wing moths. What about other insects? Are all insects look like bees and wasps? We don't know about that. So this cannot be our answer. According to the, we will go to 26th question now. According to the text, cuckoos. Okay, so we haven't read about that. We will, that obviously will be in our last paragraph. So we will read the F paragraph first and then we will go to that particular question. So let's read the F paragraph now. Many species use mimicry to confuse predators or acquire other benefits. So is let me do this, change the color first. Okay, so what they're saying is many species they use mimicry to confuse predators or they want some other kind of benefits. Cuckoos can make themselves resemble a hawk in flight with the result that potential predators flee. So this particular species, it can look like hawk when in flight, so when it is flying, so that whatever the potential predators, whoever the potential predators are, they should fly away. They get scared and they fly away. They are well known for laying their eggs in other birds' nests. So what cuckoos are famous for? They are famous for laying their eggs in other birds' nest. But what is less well known is that individual cuckoos choose to mimic only one host species. But what is less known? Okay, is that individual cuckoos, they choose to mimic only one host species. It's not like they are mimicking different kind of host species. Individual cuckoos, it they pick their own kind of host species they want to mimic. Those who have chosen the meadow pipit produce spotted eggs, whereas those who mimic the Denok lay turquoise eggs to avoid their parasitical behavior being detected. So now they're talking about those cuckoos who chose meadow pipit. Okay, they produce spotted eggs because this particular species may lay spotted eggs, so that's why they are producing spotted eggs. But those cuckoos who mimic Dunnock. So these species, what they do is they lay turquoise eggs. Okay, turquoise is type of color. So that type of eggs they are laid by cuckoos. Why? To avoid their parasitical behavior. So parasitical basically in term of negative parasite behavior, because they are taking advantage of others. They may also be able to change the shape and size of the egg in addition to the color. Okay, they are also able to change not only the color but the shape and size of the eggs to further confuse their host. So they are not like they are not leaving any stone unturned. They are doing everything so that their eggs cannot be differentiated from the real eggs of the hosts. This is apparently There is apparently no limit to ingenuity to be found in nature. So obviously we don't have any limits to the genius that is found in the nature. Okay. Now, out of option number 2, 4, 5, and 8, which option do you think is best suited for it? And you have around 10 seconds for this. Your time starts now. Okay, time's up. Now, let's read the options together. Second, the importance of diet. Can this be our answer? Nope, because there is no mention of diet here. New evidence of camouflage. We are not talking about camouflage, we're talking about mimicry here. No need to fight. Obviously, this cannot be our answer. So, our answer to this is an unusual case of specialization. Why where it is written? First, let me write here that if you are able to find this answer as well, tell me the location where in the paragraph is written that particular thing. Unusual case of specialization. Yes, here. Question 19. What is less well known? So less well known basically this is not like very famous. And what is the specialization? They can not only change the color but also change the size and shape of their eggs. So this is not found in any other thing. Okay, so depending on the type of host they choose to mimic, they can do that particular thing. So that is their specialization. I hope it is clear. Moving on to the last question. Okay, so let's move it to this. 26. According to the text, cuckoos only use the nest of two bird species. So do they use the nest of only two bird species? So if they do, yeah, this is the color. If they do, that is our answer. Are rarely caught in mimicry, can lay eggs of different colors, have a few natural predators. So obviously we have read everything about it. Now you have around 10 seconds to tell me the answer of this, and your time starts now. Okay, time's up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mark the answer first, then we will see why this is the answer and why others are not the answer. And the answer is what have you marked? A, B, C, or D? Yes, C option. Can lay eggs of different colors. Where it is written? here, and here they are in addition to the color, so they are able to change the color. So they have mentioned it again and again here. So first they have said they will produce eggs of spotted eggs, or they will produce turquoise eggs, okay, according to the host they have picked. Let me mark the question number here. So let's see why other answers are not, options are not our answer. Only two bird species, obviously they have told about the two examples, meadow pipit and danok, but they are not said they are limited to only these two species. They said whatever host they pick to mimic, they behave like that, they lay eggs according to that. Are rarely caught in mimicry. There is no mention, well, like how often they get caught. There is no mention of that, and they have no mention of like how many natural predators they have. Like, do they have a few natural predators, or do they have a lot of natural predators? So we don't have any information on this also. Okay, so this is it then. 24. We have done blanks also. We have marked all these options also. So let me do this. Fourth, we don't have any answer to this. There is no answer of this, and there is no answer of this. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. So we have three options that were not used. So this is how you should solve your list of headings or your blanks or MCQs. If you're able to understand the paragraph and the questions clearly, you will be able to find the answers without any problem. So if you are not able to understand any particular question or any particular part of the video, you are more than welcome to look at this particular video again or that part of the video again until you are clear in your doubts. Okay, until your doubts are cleared. If you want to watch more such videos, you can watch more such videos in our playlist. We have uploaded other books as well, so you can watch them. And if you have any doubt, you can ask us in the comments. And if you want our help, if you want to enroll in our video course in which we teach you to test tried and tested methods of writing and speaking to get a band 7 or more, you can go to my website. The link is in the bio. We have helped thousands of students to achieve their dream band score, and if you want to be our next success story, you should click my bio. You will find the link to my website there, and you can enroll in our video course where we will teach you all the tried and tested methods. We will talk about the parameters about writing and speaking, what are the four parameters, how you can achieve those particular type of set of parameters you are aiming at. For example, if I talk about writing, what you have to do to achieve 7 band in writing, like the task response, what is C and C, cohesion and coherence, what about grammatical range and accuracy, and lexical resource. So we have talked about those things in depth. We have also uploaded the samples also. We have discussed along with samples, so what kind of things you need to take care of so that you can easily score at least a band 7, if not more, in your first try. And if you want to book our one-to-one speaking slot where we will like take your speaking according to exam, and we will mark your speaking according to the 4 parameters provided by IELTS official website, so that you can understand where you are lagging or where you need to improve, or what your band scores are likely to be at your current level. You can do that also, or you can book our writing correction service where we will mark your essay according to the 4 parameters, and we will tell you your weaknesses or your strengths and what you need to do to improve your essay and get your desired band score. So that's it for this video then. I will see you in the next video. Till then, take care and goodbye.